Hello and welcome to my channel. For those of you returning, thank you very much for coming back. That in itself is a compliment. It means that you are at least interested enough to come and see what else I'm up to. And for those of you who are new, welcome, and I hope you enjoy my particular brand of content. And some point in time in the video, if you do and you're enjoying it, please do press the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think, what you'd like to see more of, what you might like to see less of, and just anything that helps me along this journey that we're taking together, really. And the idea is that we'll look back on these times and remember where we started from, but we did it together. So, as you might tell from the title, there's a bit of a mixed bag this week, this episode. I'm recording this on Saturday, the 6th of February 2021, and it's been a strange old day for me because I've had today both a family funeral and a family birthday, and I think there's probably as opposite as you can get in terms of milestones and emotions. Second only to obviously if there was a birth. But we're celebrating a life lived and living life as well. And I guess really, especially now with COVID, a lot of people will be having those kinds of experiences, saying goodbye to a lot of family members in quick succession and in bulk in some cases, which is quite sad. It's just the nature of the thing. But we still have to try and celebrate the life that we live and the people that we have with us and all of the above. So before I went further, I wanted to just say that if you are feeling very down about the state of things, although my channel is there to help you relax a bit, but I'm not a trained professional in terms of dealing with depression and such like. It's very real, so please do seek out someone you can talk to, because a lot of times that's all it is really, is just to get these things out of your system, a little less pressure on your ticker. I know in small communities, I've heard it said a lot of times in Barbados, I want nobody knowing my business. I know that came out a bit American. I want nobody know my business. But that happens. It's a risk. So what I might say is try to find someone who could lose their job if they talk out your business, and that tends to be a registered professional, somebody who studied a lot, has a DR in front of their names. But if for any reason you can't find that, maybe your local, not your local, a bartender somewhere that you can go away from your local. But it's important to speak to someone about what you're feeling. However, if you're just feeling a little bit down about things and just want somewhere to relax, this is what this channel is here for. So yeah, we'll help people get through the bad times. So, I suppose a good segue into some of the things I wanted to talk about was that even in offices here in the UK, it's a normal thing now that they have a staff support for employees, and we take breaches of confidentiality very serious. So but also, even if you didn't want to speak to an official staff on site, what a lot of companies do is just engage the services of independent I don't want to call them staff, I guess service providers that you can speak to. And the whole point was that was supposed to be a segue into working and how as a software developer you might find yourself a bit more prone to I don't want to say depression, but loneliness. And I think what's happened now with COVID is because a lot more people are working from home, initially you feel the benefits of it. You don't have to travel, you don't have to get ready in the morning, you just go from your bedroom, maybe grab a bite of something or coffee, you sit down in your office, you get by. Some people have their offices in their bedrooms, so they don't have to go anywhere. However, the downside of that is and it usually comes maybe a few weeks later, is you suddenly realize you've lost a whole bunch of days because now you've made your world all around this small area, and that can affect you. It can affect you because you're no longer seeing the outside, feeling the sunshine in your face, or just the air, even just going to the store because you can order everything in. And software developers have kind of been able to do that for a while, although not a lot of companies let you work from home full time up until now. We did have that opportunity that you could work remotely a lot, and so we would have had to deal with things like this. You would have already, anyone who's been working from home for a while would have things in place that helps them cope. And this whole vlog is not meant to be only about development, but it's a bit of a follow on from the last one where I spoke mainly about the career and things to look out for if you were starting in this area or just thinking of progressing forward in it. And it's a bit of a follow on just to mention some of the downsides of development. So as I said, the tricks you can do, one of the things I try to do is still dress up for work as if I was going, wear a collared shirt, and on that I have a kind of uniform that I use for work, so I don't ever have to worry, oh, what should I wear today, what should I wear another day. I might say at the beginning of the year I see comfortable shirts I like that could work right through, and I might buy like 6 or 7 of them to cover me for wearing them a few times a week. Some people change shirts every day. I guess it just depends on what kind of wear you're doing. Oh, I should remember to say, comment in the section how often you wear your work shirts if you're just a regular office worker. But now obviously I'm just dressing up, or at least mostly dressing up to come and sit down and get my work done. But I find that separation of day and evening definitely helps to keep you not getting lost in the myriad of just days turning into weeks, turning into months. Obviously there's limits to how much you do, whether you iron every day or something like that. But I think just trying to maintain that routine in the mornings, in the afternoons where you'd normally take a break, stretch out your legs, go get your coffee. For those people who use coffee as a pick me up, a cup of tea, that sort of thing. Definitely keep your exercises going, but don't stretch it out. Like, try to keep it the same kind of time you would do if you were still working, so you still have your nighttime and daytime. So I thought I'd just mention that as we go, just to say, keep up for that. You have to keep yourself good. So it's a downside of software developing remotely, but now more so for a lot of people going remotely. Another thing I thought I mentioned is it's the reward. I don't want to say the reward. Let's say the reward that comes with work. So if you were, say, some kind of customer facing person on a shop floor, somebody asks, oh, where can I find this thing? You can help them. Oh, you can look here. You can try this size. You can, taste this food, or you can go here and check them. And oh, thank you very much. And you feel, that sense of, oh, I've helped someone today. That's good. Some people rubs off your back, but the accumulation of that feeling is good. It's good for your well-being. With something like software development, you're tending to work on a long-term project, and you hardly hear, oh, thank you, that's great. Maybe when you make a delivery or something like that, may not come, that might be like months apart or weeks apart. So, and it's just the nature of the work. You won't always have that, but it's, I think if you're aware of it, that you don't get that, then you're not looking for it, so you don't realize you've missed it. It's a kind of roundabout way of thinking, but I'll caveat that by saying it's kind of worked for me. And by the same token, you realize that when you do make a delivery and everything is working, people say, oh, that's great, thank you very much, you did a good job. Don't discount that. That is quite nice. So if there's a chance to get your kudos, let's say, do get your kudos. If they say, join a Zoom meeting where we're celebrating our delivery, but you have the option not to go, you say, no, I'll come and take everything that's coming to me. So, there, that's my tidbits for more software development. There are upsides as well. I think most people will tell you just get access to some of the coolest tech, especially when you're working from companies to companies, because obviously people tend to be dealing. There are a lot of ways to do things in the software development world, a lot of options, a lot of tools, and everywhere you work, you get exposed to that, which is one of the upsides as well of being a contractor over a developer, over a permanent staff. But we'll discuss that in a future vlog. It's just the difference between freelance and being a steady worker in a I don't know what you call it, a traditional way of working. There are upsides and downsides to each, and but we'll go into that later on. I mentioned in the last video that there was a reason why I wasn't videoing in my usual slot time on Friday, and it was to do with the story of when when your smugness gives you a smarting. Or just quickly, I wanted some fish and chips, which is, a lot of people will know that that's a kind of anecdotal thing that English folks do on a lot of Fridays, but over here a lot of times the trend is to batter it up, and I don't like the batter. Just as I've gotten older, I just can't digest a lot of things very easily. Subject for another vlog. But I would often order my fish and chips, but the fish with no batter on it, just fried fish, fine for me. And that's the whole thing. I go pick it up. Now that a lot of people are working from home, and I suppose otherwise would have eaten elsewhere or something, or restaurants are closed, a lot of people are discovering their fish and chip shops. So I rocked up to my local, haven't ordered, and there was like a long line outside. Oh my gosh, what's going on? So I initially just thought, all these people have ordered and I'm just picking up because they should know in these times it's going to be busy. So of course I asked the guy in front, have you guys ordered? Oh no, we're still waiting to get in there. Well, this is going to be awkward. So I said, okay, I just make my way, and I could feel the eyes on me like, where does he think it's going? So I had to explain to the lady at the door, sorry, I ordered it, I'm just going to see if it's ready, because I think for those with dual backgrounds or multiple backgrounds, you find that when you're in England, your English bit takes over and you're so very terribly apologetic. I'm really sorry, I just need to ask the guy. So she said, use that door, it's open. So of course I called, is my order ready? So yes, of course, come right in, pay, sort out, and go in. And when you could feel daggers at the back of your back, and I didn't want to be smug with myself, but of course as I'm walking out, I'm going ho ho ho. So but that's not what happened. But I walked out and I could just feel everyone. You want to just say, well, next time I guess you'll order. What happens was, when I got home, I was still in this smug way and talking about it, and I made myself a hot drink because it was quite cold. It was horribly cold. And relaying this story to my better half, and I now feeling like, I guess next time they'll order, and and I burnt my tongue on the hot drink I was drinking and spit it out over my young son, who's like, oh my gosh, what's up with daddy there? And so I couldn't talk properly for a few hours. That's why. So I think that comes under the pride comes before a fall type of thing. It's not quite pride, but it's one of these where smugness will come back and bite you in your smartness. Right, I was gonna speak more, but I'm just aware of the time and we don't want to keep you too long. So thanks for joining me today, and we'll talk again soon. You take care, have a great week, keep smiling.